90% of the truck drivers voted for Trump. Now they go to the ports and the piers and look for a load to carry, and they find out that half the fucking ships are empty and the other half are being diverted by China to other places. The only fucking thing you'll be hauling is Trump the fuck out of the White House back to Mar-a-Lago.
Hey guys, welcome back. So, the truckers across the United States are losing their jobs right now because of the ongoing trade war due to the Trump tariffs. A majority of them, almost 90% of them, voted for Donald Trump because they knew that he's going to make the economy of the United States great again. Right now, the settle port in Washington, D.C. is empty. Is it the main reason as to why the port workers went on a strike? Or they knew that something huge is coming and they didn't tell people? Because if the ports are empty, where are the truckers going to get the goods to supply across the states? Leave alone the domestic truckers, because I've been checking the news online across the platforms to see if this news is the real news, because I don't want to bring fake news here. I saw truckers themselves complaining that it's almost 3 weeks, they're getting nothing, they're tired of waiting, the ports are empty. So, guys, without further ado, let's dive in and check out what the truckers and other people had to say about it. And kindly give the video a thumbs up. I'll come back with my commentary about it.
Another worst week for the trucking industry. I'm actually sitting in a Seattle, Washington right now without a load. I don't have no load right now. I dropped my load 8 o'clock in the morning and it's already 1 o'clock that I'm sitting here waiting for the load. A lot of people been asking me, does it gonna get fixed? Is it gonna get better? I have no fucking clue what is gonna happen because day by day it's getting worse and worse. I have no clue. I haven't seen trucking industry like this in the past 10 years. This is the worst year for the trucking industry. Worst year. And when I came to the truck stop, I reserved a shower. There were 23 people in front of me in the line. 23 people. It's been 4 hours I'm waiting for the shower. And they still 3 people ahead of me. Still. So you can imagine that how many people are sitting at this truck stop without a load. All the truck drivers, we have nothing else to do besides taking shower all day. Pray for everybody. Stay safe on the road.
Guys, things are a lot worse than I actually thought it was. I just got finished looking at about 6 TikToks, and not just TikTok videos, but videos on other social media platforms about a lot of the American truck drivers, as far as like the semi-truck drivers who do the over-road driving, transporting goods from the ports to our local stores. A lot of the truck drivers are really hurt right now. I watched at least 3 videos where the truck drivers are saying just in this short amount of time with the tariffs going on that they have to actually sell their entire truck. A lot of those people pay at least $255,000 for the semi. So for those of you who don't know what those trucks cost, they cost around 200 and something thousand. One guy said the best offer that he got on the semi truck was $140,000, and the semi truck is actually a 2020, a 2020. That's just shy of 5 years old. So it's real out here when the truck drivers start speaking out about what's going on with them. They're experiencing a huge shortage where it comes to them being contractors, being contracted out to ship stuff for this company and ship stuff for that company. A lot of those guys that's even saying that selling their trucks, they're applying for local jobs where they can drive for a company. And they said a lot of those companies that ships products are actually laying their employees off. Or some of them are even cutting their employees' hours. So it's definitely real. Just seeing the videos like that just let me know just how serious things are, because these are people making videos that lives are really 100% being impacted by the tariffs. We would have never thought in a million years that putting tariffs on China and putting tariffs on these other countries would affect the United States so fast. I would have never thought that the impact would be so fast. The store shelves, a lot of the store shelves really are running empty right now. A lot of people are still using their overstocked products that they ordered from these companies, meaning that shipments are still coming in because they were ordered before the tariffs were implemented. And so they have to honor what's been implemented, basically like a contract type deal. So things are more serious than I thought it was, man. And Like, if this is like only the second day of May 2025, I mean, I hate to see what the second and third week of May is going to look like. And we are just in the second day of May, and we're already seeing a humongous catastrophic breakdown of people already talking about losing their jobs when it comes to trucking and transporting food from one state to the next state. The ports are just really, it's bad. What's going on at the ports right now, it's bad. And you know what's really worse? A lot of those jobs are actually union jobs, and the union can't really do anything about that. They can't really override the president of the United States. So I wanted to just bring you guys that, man. That's really some heartbreaking, sad news, man. Thank you guys for watching.
Seattle shipping port is empty. So is LA. It looks like that's the three main shipping ports on the West Coast. They are no longer getting international shipments. The last one is scheduled for tomorrow. This is going to have huge implications for our economy really quickly and also long term. We are probably going to face one of the biggest economic recessions we've seen in probably over a century. This is going to be really bad, especially with all of the migrant labor that we rely on now being gone. If farms can't harvest, if people can't ship things in and out, if truck drivers can't pick up deliveries, our entire system crashes. We are going to see food shortages, empty shelves, job losses, and even higher inflation with all these tariffs. It's going to be pretty crazy. In like 3 to 6 months, we're really going to start feeling this really hard as the harvest isn't being harvested, as retail stores aren't having any inventory and go out of business. This is going to affect mostly middle class, lower class Americans. Rents are going to go up even more. Mortgages are going to go up. It's going to get harder to get loans. And we are going to see huge layoffs. It's time to start channeling your grandma who survived the Great Depression. Start your garden. Start learning canning. Buy a bidet, switch from paper to cloth products, shop locally. This is probably going to be a lot worse than what we saw during COVID. And the fucked up thing is the people at the top with all the money aren't going to be hurt by this. It's going to be us. And while everything is skyrocketing in price and while everything is crumbling apart, they're going to snatch up all these stocks as they plummet so they can buy super low and get even more money in the future. They are manufacturing an economic crisis that will hurt middle class and lower class Americans the hardest while they boost their fortunes. There is so much manufacturing of an economic crisis. This is all avoidable. But yet, here we are.
What are the consequences of the fact that there's no ships coming in to the biggest port on the West Coast? The port in LA is reporting that there are no ships with shipping containers. The port is basically empty. And the same thing has happened in Seattle. And this happened pretty quickly, right? The tariffs came in and people are not ordering anything, and people who have ordered things have canceled their orders. And the implications for this are mainly for the American economy right now. China has lots of flexibility to be able to handle this. They can give grants to companies and things like that because they are running their economy very differently, and they've also don't have the same sort of debt load that the Americans are facing. But the implications for this are just catastrophic for the U.S. I mean, the first one that you can see right away is for truckers. There are reports that the truckers, the level of demand right now is the same as for Thanksgiving, U.S. Thanksgiving and Christmas Day, which is the lowest of the year, and that is every day. So you're going to see truckers laid off, you're going to see port workers laid off, and the cascading effect obviously through that local economy will happen fairly quickly because those people are not going to have the money to be able to spend, and it's going to affect the real estate in those places as well. But think about the stores and the companies that need components to manufacture things. There's all sorts of things that are manufactured in the U.S. using components that come from overseas. And then people who need tools. Most of the tools are manufactured in the States, in China. You need those tools. You need them to be relatively inexpensive so you can run your business. And so the cascading effect of this will be, of course, a decline in the economy. And you probably see some readjustment in certain prices because there'll be very little competition for it. So, there's all of these cancellations of meat orders going to China, which is going to affect the price of beef and pork, and all of those things are going to drop for Americans. And that's wonderful for Americans, except it's going to put a lot of farmers out of business because they're already selling at very low margins to start with. So you'll see some economic decline, which will, in some sectors, lead to deflationary pressures. But for the most part, you're just going to see a economy slipping into failure mode, and the worst recession ever, because it's not just some sort of over exuberance or something like that in some sector or another. It's actually just pulling the fundamentals out of the economy and throwing it into collapse. And this is just the start. I made a TikTok a few weeks ago saying, get prepared. In a couple of weeks, you're going to start seeing shortages of things on store shelves. And when there's no ships coming from China, you're going to see shortages of things on store shelves happening really quickly now, because they rely on very tight schedules for things. It's really, computers are making the orders. When something is sold in a store, an order goes to the head office and it automatically goes to the supplier in China. And when they cut that off a few weeks back, when the tariffs were first imposed, that was the end of those replacement orders coming in for things that are on the store shelves. So things that you need that are like hard goods manufactured in China, and that's most of what you need. If you're in the US, you should be going and buying it now. Of course, in Canada, this isn't affecting us at all because we're not putting any weird tariffs on things coming from China. But when you see a harbor that has no ships, and a busy port like LA and Seattle with nothing on the dock, I can tell you that's worse than anything we experienced in the pandemic, and it's completely self-inflicted.
Trucking has completely went flat bottom, man. I can honestly tell you, these past 3 weeks, this is including the third week that I'm in right now, you get a few runs here and there. I'm in Chicago, right? And it's getting bad. I don't know, what do you tell your drivers, right? You just give them the whole concept of be patient. Obviously, watching the news, I'm not only a truck driver, I own trucks. I got drivers, man, I don't know what else to say or do. Obviously, Trump is doing what he needs to do, right? On paper, it looks good. It looks right. But we're going to have to try to weather the tide, you know what I'm saying? But, man, it's getting bad, right? And I know a lot of people in other businesses that are complaining too, right? Everybody's watching the news, waiting for this whole situation to die down with this whole tariff thing back and forth. And I don't see no end in sight. I know some of my guys that are owner-operators, a lot of them gave up not having a plan in place after they quit. And they just saying, hey, I'm going to wing it. I don't know. I'll figure something out. But, man, me personally, my advice to anybody, it doesn't matter if you're a truck driver now. Whatever you're doing for a living and you don't want to do that no more, find you another source of income before you quit. Never quit until you have another option, right? You're going to quit and just sit there and wait. What are you going to do? My advice, man, do not quit something until you have something in line, ready to go.
So, well, guys, America is heading into the largest economic crisis in a lifetime right now. It's a time to stock up. The shelves are empty. If you go to Walmart, if you go to Target, most of the shelves are empty. There will be food shortage. There will be labor crisis. You've seen the immigrants getting deported. The immigrant labor, where are they going to get it? The ports are empty. To mean that those who always are dependent on the goods that are coming overseas, right now it will be so difficult to get them. The small business owners who are dependent on the overseas goods, maybe their businesses might collapse right now. It's a time to start preparing your garden. If you don't have a garden, you can just prepare a small one at the balcony. And if you have a place outside your compound, that's where you can prepare your garden. You plant those vegetables, you grow those fruits, you can grow the berries. Because if you don't stock right now, if you don't start gardening right now, summer is coming, that the temperatures will be so high that you won't be able to grow your vegetables. They won't survive in high temperatures. If the shelves are empty right now, to me, there will be mass layoffs, because who will be working at the stores when the shelves are empty? Do you think the managers of those corporations will be able to pay their workers for doing nothing, for selling nothing to people? This is like 14th April 1912. This is what America is headed to. And people thought that maybe Donald Trump is going to make the economy of America great again. The truckers went ahead and voted for him. Right now, if you don't speak English, to mean you are not going to be a truck driver. I saw some comments asking, like, if they don't speak English, where did they get their driving license? Well, there are some states in the United States where you can go there and do a driving test in your own language and get it. So right now, if you don't speak English in America, you are not going to be a truck driver. Maybe you have been a truck driver for years, maybe 20 years, 15 years, and that's how you are going to lose your job because of that. I don't know if this is the Make America Great Again. Those who have been dependent on one job, those who have been working paycheck to paycheck, life is going to be so difficult for them. I've even seen the American citizens migrating to other countries. They are relocating, moving away from the United States because the life is getting so difficult. If you don't have that money to feed your family, I think this is the main reason as to why a majority of the youths really don't want to start a family right now. Because how are you going to afford feeding your family? They'll all be dependent on you. You must pay for the insurance. And remember, Western countries, you must pay for all the bills. They are waiting for you. And if you don't pay, how are you going to survive? The truckers right now are waiting for the goods to come. The ships are empty. China is diverting their goods back to other countries, not America, because of the ongoing trade war. If it was not these tariffs, then everything could have been okay. Even though life could have been expensive, yes, but the tariffs are making it to be, the tariffs is making life in America to be even the more expensive that people cannot even afford. I've even seen some countries like they were kind of making jokes that, here in our country we are telling our children to eat because people in America are starving. I was just laughing at some of the comments because I saw even the truckers themselves saying that people are now blaming the Biden economy, and yet it's not the Biden economy. Yes, it started that time, but right now it's even getting more worse than before. So if you're a trucker watching this video and you voted for Donald Trump, it's your own fault because you voted against your own social security, against everything. Now, if you lose your job, it will be up to you. And if you voted for this or if you didn't vote for this, imagine there are some truckers, yes, who didn't vote for him and now they are going to lose their jobs because of the others. Life is going to be so difficult in America. And those who are working at the seaports, do you think they'll still continue working there if there are no goods coming in? It will be impossible because this is the time that there will be a lot of mass layoffs. I'm just wondering why the federal government is deporting even the American citizens who are supposed to be working there. To mean there might be labor crisis in America. If they don't want immigrants there, then who will be working there? Maybe those people were complaining that the immigrants are taking away their jobs. Right now, it's time for them to go and work their ass off the way the immigrants were doing such kind of jobs at the plantation farms, in the construction industries. They were working so hard, but now they're getting deported. I was not even surprised because the American citizens were also getting deported. So guys, let me know your thoughts in the comment section about these truckers getting deported. I wanted to do more research about it to see if they are actually getting deported, getting laid off, if the ports are empty. And I just came to realize that most of the ports in America are empty, especially the Seattle port in Washington. It's really empty. So let me know your thoughts in the comment section, guys. I really appreciate your kind support. And if you're coming across this channel for the very first time, my name is Judy. Kindly consider subscribing, give the video a thumbs up, and see you on our next episode. Bye.